Hey everybody, it is Elsit932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, how is your day? How is your Thursday? Okay, we are here for Unsolicited Advice. This is where I pull information from the internet, from folks who are asking the internet for advice. So what we're going to do is give our unsolicited advice. Hey Moondust Angel, glad to have you here. Yes, having a great evening, great day. Hey Ari, glad to have you here as well. Everybody come in and please say hello. Don't be shy. We're not, too much too soon, okay? So we are, oh, you made some homemade carbonara for dinner. Okay. Seems like we all have to catch a flight and come to your house for dinner. So, I had time today, y'all. I had time today right before this live. Someone sent me a suggestion. So we're going to do a last minute unsolicited advice for a hot story that's out there on the internet. Hey, Debbie, glad to have you here. And Letitia, glad to have you here as well. Yeah, y'all, I got time today, but that's going to be the last one. Hey, AK's POV. Yay, you're in the bushes. Glad to have you here. We haven't seen you in a little bit. Maybe you've been keeping company in the bushes. So someone sent me a suggestion for unscripted on Friday, and I'm like, hey, I may have to give the unsolicited advice today, and we're going to talk about it on Friday, okay? Hey, Flavor T, I watch you like I'm watching my favorite show. Well, I'm glad you are. I'm glad I'm giving you a favorite show because you don't know what I'm going to pull or pick. Wonderful that you're having safe travels, AK's POV. Flavor T, you don't know what I'm going to pick, what I'm going to bring to you week by week. And y'all, we added a show, King's Court, if you want to watch that recap, as well as Just Ronda 01. She also is doing a recap of King's Court. We're going to talk about these men trying to find a queen amongst these women. But I may have to only have unsolicited advice on Sundays, y'all, because Ready to Love is coming back. Love is Blind is coming back. We done added Project Runway. It's going to be here. It's going to be a lot. On top of the King's Court, on top of Match Me Abroad, on top of. So unsolicited advice maybe go down to 1 day a week, but I ain't going to leave y'all stranded. Never that. Never leave y'all stranded. So y'all, let's go to the first one, okay? Let's go to the first unsolicited advice that we are going to provide, okay, today. And let me make sure it pulls up properly. Okay, it goes. How do I, a 32-year-old male, tell my girlfriend, a 33-year-old female, I do not like her new lips? Did y'all hear that? He does not like her new lips. He says, I am so lost. I love her. And of course, find her attractive in every way. I don't care if she gains 100 pounds, but there's something different when it comes to this lip filler of hers or any sort of plastic surgery or enhancements. I just don't like it. It doesn't make sense on why a woman would do this stuff to their face. We have a trip in a month to see family, and she was adamant that she had to get her lips done before the trip. She got them done yesterday. Yes, I still find it extremely beautiful and attractive, but at the same time, them lips look silly. I realize, it's like this internet look. Her face does not stand out the same. It's got this look, and it may look good for a picture, but it's kind of an odd look. I don't know how to explain it. Not to mention, she wants more Botox and eventually a chin tuck or chin something. I am and continue to be supportive, but I try to also tell her she doesn't need that. She's more beautiful without it, but she insists it's necessary. Maybe as a man, I just never understood what a woman goes through and what happens in their 30s. My hair is starting to thin. My hair is starting to recede in some areas. So maybe it's similar to that because, it doesn't feel good. And I wish there were some easy solutions or quick injections. Women definitely are under more pressure than men with their appearances. I guess my concern is if she feels the need to do this for me, or is it for herself? Is it a problem for me? Is it for herself? Is she trying to look better than other people? I don't understand it, but I know if I tell her I don't like it, it will end her confidence. Any advice? Yeah, she got the lip fillers. Well, if he doesn't like the lip fillers, he doesn't like them. But did he explain that to her? I guess it doesn't matter because she seems to like it and gives her confidence. Hate to go to Africa. Glad to have you here. Exactly. It gives her confidence. We don't know what's going on. Sir, you got to let her know your limitations because you don't want to come home one day and it looks like, those magicians that do those balloon animals, they make a dog and stuff out of it. All I'm seeing is eventually one day if she keeps on filling, it's going to look like it is an inflated balloon animal to the lips. And there's a cost to plastic surgery, not just to, the outward, but it's inside. What is going on? I think she may need to see a therapist. That's all I'm saying. She may need to see a therapist on this. So, y'all, what is your unsolicited advice? I'm not seeing the chat going off too much. I'm not seeing the chat do too much with this. I don't know. First, she needs to decide if she's doing it for herself or is it for him? What are we doing? Is she, if she's doing too much, she's only 30 something. I am not an aficionado with this. Are ladies getting Botox in their early 30s? Are they getting Botox and lip fillers in their 30s? I don't know. I mean, I'm torn. On one hand, I say tell her, and that's why he can't be with her because she just gets that sort of procedure. But on the other hand, she seems to like that because she gets confidence from it. Right. It's a slippery slope. Maybe you should say you look like you are. Oh, you look okay like you are. But I think if you do more, it will be overdoing it. Right. And he doesn't want to start an argument. He thinks her natural look is wonderful, but she doesn't think so. So again, they need to have a conversation. And is he going with her to these appointments? Is he also looking to see what else she's talking to this plastic surgeon about getting done? I know some people say it could get like tattoos. Like when you get one tattoo is like one, you kind of like want to do more. Some people, not all. And I'm thinking, I wonder the way he's describing it, is it that she wants more Botox? Now she wants more of this. I'm trying to understand what exactly she, what is her mission? What is her end goal? Because I hate to say this, but she's only 33. What does all of this look like when you're 60, when you're 70, when you're 80? What does all of this look like? And are you, it may be attractive to you, but is it attractive to your significant other? Or we could just tell him mind his business because he ain't paying for it. Okay? We could tell him mind your business because he ain't paying for it. Unfortunately, they're getting it done in their 30s, but it's not needed. But a real conversation should be had and express how he feels. But I know it won't be an easy conversation. Thank you, Letitia. It's not going to be easy. Hey, K Sharp. The man ain't attracted to his girlfriend's lip fillers. He says she's doing too much, and now she wants extra Botox. So we on the first one, K Sharp. I hope she doesn't end up like Darcy, a 90-day fiance. Y'all know that's why I pulled it, right? Y'all know that's why I pulled it. Y'all know that's why I pulled it. I don't much like plastic surgery myself. I prefer natural beauty, but if someone likes it, then good for them. And I think he can't be with someone like that. He needs to leave her. Right. They need to have a conversation. And if she insists she wants more Botox, more this and more that, and she wants to keep going under the knife, then he's got to make a decision and she's got to make a decision as well. Is this going to be his life? Because if she is financing her own plastic surgery, then you certainly can say how you feel, but then have nothing to say because she's financing what she wants done for herself. So y'all, please put your unsolicited advice below there and we can get to the other one. Make sure you have liked, you shared, and you subscribed. And thank you all for being on my journey. We are at over 500 subscribers now. Thank you so much. And we continue to grow. We definitely, and we go from, mild to spicy. Okay. This is the second one we're pulling up now. Okay. The second one. Let me pull up my notes. Okay. So this, I need to pull it up again, apparently, because I just lost it on the screen for myself. Press the wrong button. Okay, pay attention now. This is a 25-year-old female with a 24-year-old female. And they're having a situation involving disrespect and trash talking behind their back. Okay? Is Miss Bible Lady in the chat? Is Miss Bible Lady slipped in? Hey, Lady Tiba, glad you're listening in. Glad you're listening in. So, I'm having a bit of a complicated situation with my girlfriend. Part of the situation involves text messages of her and a guy friend of hers, and they are trash talking me. Him telling her I'm possessive. She's telling him I've told her not to take jobs that would make our schedules not match. This is not true. She said she thinks, I'm only with women because men make me uncomfortable. This is not true. She's telling him about the intimate stuff between us. He's ending by complimenting her and flirting with her. So much has been said. I know in relationships, there are things that you can work through, and there are things that just simply cannot be worked through. I feel very disrespected and humiliated. I have talked to her, and she just keeps saying he was making her overthink, so she's just saying stuff. And it's just a bunch of excuses, I think, honestly. Is this one of those situations that cannot be worked through? I feel like it cannot be worked through personally, and that's what matters. But I also wanted to hear input from outsiders. So 25 and 24, both ladies, one lady is disrespecting and trash talking her partner to the male friend. Okay? She's trash talking her partner to her male friend, and the male friend is flirting. I want to ask, is this the first relationship with a lady? Because it sounded like she's like, oh, she's only with a young lady because she's uncomfortable with men. Why would she say that? Is this the first, relationship of this kind for both of them? But definitely trash talking your person to a friend ain't it. Ain't it. She doesn't respect her partner. Let it go. Nola Darling came in with the slash. She came in hot and heavy. It is like, let it go. She don't respect you. Be gone. Run away. Leave her and the friend to play. If someone says things behind your back, they're not in your corner, and you don't need that kind of nonsense and childishness in your life. Okay, Munda Sanger's like, let it go. TKO, another let it go. Why would you disrespect your partner with a friend? Why? I can understand sometimes going to a friend for advice if it's a level-headed friend, but why would you be talking that kind of trash to your partner? Second of all, if you're talking trash, why are we leaving it where people can see? Why are we overhearing or reading the text message? See, here's my question. How did we find out about this disrespect? We're researching the phone. Author, writer of this request for advice. Were you digging in the phone? How did you find this out? Were you eavesdropping on verbal conversation communication? Because I also want to tap into, how did you find out about this? Or did a friend of a friend tell you this is what's happening? How do we get this information? Because the source of the information is also pertinent, at least to me. It may not be to the chat. It may not be. It doesn't have to be to you. I just have a lot of questions. How do we find out about this? How do we know that the friend is trash talking and the friend is sending flirty texts back and forth? It seems like you went a little digging, and when you go digging, guess what? You find stuff. But it does not negate the fact that you were disrespected. You were disrespected by your partner. You were disrespected in a way that should not happen. Curiosity will lead to the end. You're young, so at least you have plenty of time to move on. Has the person who's been snitched been telling you what is being said? Nola Darling don't care how the information gets here. Nah, she's like, end it, go away, leave it alone, pack up your bags. You should be halfway to your new residence by now. So I guess that, most people, the disrespect is something we cannot handle. The trash talking of your mate cannot handle. Come on now. And especially saying blatant lies. You're creating a view of your person to your friends. You're creating a view and a narrative about your person. And that just, is not it. Yes, Debbie, it's over. Everybody in the chat is saying it's over. Pack your bags. You're young. You're 25. Your partner's 24. Y'all will recover and have new loves and go on and live well. Y'all are young. Put this in your lesson plan, in your lesson book of this is what I shouldn't tolerate in future relationships. The drama is so childish. When you get older, you no longer have time for that kind of nonsense. Thank you, Mundas Angel. They have time to grow up. If the male friend gave her the info, she should have concerns about him. Yeah, I was wondering if he wanted to just break him up so he could just slide on through. Digging or not, she weird. No respect. You should have eavesdropped earlier. Should have found this out earlier. That's the other thing. We don't know how long they've been together. They didn't say anything. So it doesn't matter how long. We agree. It doesn't matter how long the disrespect is there. We need to go. So y'all, please list your unsolicited advice below. We're saying get the hell on, because if your partner cannot respect you, you need to go. The outward flirting and you blew it off, especially after my concern. Yeah, the friend was flirting too. We don't want that. So y'all, let's go on to item 3, because I'm really excited to get to the last one. Someone sent it to me on IG today, and I have the time. We're gonna talk about it today. Okay, so this is the third one, and let me pull it up. Okay. My boyfriend, 29-year-old male, does not take care of his skin, and it's affecting my attraction as 30-year-old female. Okay. I've been with my boyfriend for over a year. Before we get together, I wasn't really physically attracted to him, but our personal chemistry was off the charts. That won me over, and I developed a physical attraction. Lately, we've been having some issues, which has been having an effect on my attraction. I'm seeing all the flaws glaringly due to some resentment and how he has dealt with the issues that we've had. However, I still love him, and I'm trying to make this work, but he doesn't take care of his skin or hair. Now, he does shower daily. He uses body wash, shampoo, but that's where it ends. He has very thin hair, and he's been trying to grow it out for a while. I've tried to recommend various products and solutions, but he shuts me down. It's the same with his skin. It breaks out, okay? He has pores that are very large. I don't know what to do. He just keeps shutting me down any suggestion and says it's fine. I don't want to break it to him, okay? But I'm not attracted to him right now. I also have concerns about his overall health in the long run. Does anyone have advice for me? She goes on to say, I meant to say, skin blemishes, like poor hygiene skin blemishes. Yes, he showers, but he does not change his sheets often. He often re-wears his dirty clothes. And the house is incredibly dirty as well. He doesn't wear anything for his sunburns, and it's incredibly easy for him to burn. So again, I love this man with everything I have. I don't resent him, but I'm no longer attracted to him. So again, she should schedule a date for them to go to a sauna and to get facial. Well, hey, he seems like he needs a facial, the exfoliating, but he said he's fine. I'm fine. I don't need any suggestions. I'm fine. I'm fine. That's what he's saying. I'm fine. How do you help someone who says it's fine? How do you help someone who just says, I'm fine, everything's fine? Now they're 30, they're over a year, and y'all could judge me. Please judge me. A year, I'm gone. Why did it take a year for you to realize that his hygiene ain't together? I need to understand. Okay? First of all, you wasn't attracted to this man, and why did you give him any kind of play? I just need to know. Why is she still there since his appearance has been a problem since day one? Thank you, K Sharp. That is a nasty way to live. So leave him. Oh no, yeah, all of that re-wearing dirty clothes and not washing and changing his sheets, that's why he's having these issues. No amount of washing his body can change that. Now, here's the thing. He could be allergic to the laundry detergent. It could be, I'm just, we haven't had Lindsay in here. We need a new advocate. He could be having issues of irritation because of that, okay? Give him an ultimatum. It's the way to go. Unfortunately, either listen to her about his hygiene or she's gone. Hey, Feel Good, glad to see you here. This young lady wasn't attracted to the man at first, and now he's having skin issues, and she's no longer attracted again because he re-wearing dirty clothes. He ain't washing the sheets often. So I'm just, everybody's like, giving a different perspective. Why have you been there this long? Exactly. It's just over a year. Now, see how she did say that. So I'm saying on the other side, yes, she's saying he's showering, he's using, hygiene products. But again, he could be allergic. And some people are, I have a child we can't use certain laundry detergent in this house because he'll break out, at least for his laundry. Yes, use baby laundry detergent. Hey, the clear stuff is great. The clear stuff, and all clear. This is not an endorsement. Tide clear, all that clear. If you do have allergies, I know some people who do. Thank you, Nola, darling. She is laying with this man between them dirty sheets. And even though his skin is looking the way it is, because we can only imagine, she's still laid with this man. Okay. Thank you, Nola. Thank you for bringing us back out of the clouds. No, hygiene issues are a no. Thank you, Phil. Thank you. We need the male perspective in here. Stop being nice and put it to him. I almost said put it on him because I was like, why are we? Why was she initially attracted to him? If she loves him, she can help him with housekeeping. She was not initially attracted. That's what she said. She was not initially attracted to him. And then all of a sudden became attracted. So I think to go to Africa, I think the question is what made her find him attractive? Detergent don't matter if he ain't using it. No, you're right, because he is what? He's reusing the dirty clothes. He is laying in his dirty sheets. So Feel Good gives us another recommendation, 7th Generation. That is another great brand for anyone who may have allergies. Because it's the same thing with babies. That's why they say don't let everybody hold your baby. If they hold your baby against themselves, it's their clothes too, their detergent, on their gentle skin. Thank you. The detergent don't matter if he refuses to use it. If he's that dirty, then infection is somewhere in the room. It is somewhere in the room. The smell she is inhaling, my God. And is he going to the gym? He's probably a nice guy. Very nice. Probably. I just shunned at the thought of all that dead skin everywhere. I can't say that word for YouTube. This is who he is. Exactly. Why did we become attracted? What attracted us to him? What clicked it over? I assume he isn't vacuuming either if he refuses to do laundry. She's probably doing it. She's probably tired of cleaning up. She's probably tired of doing it for him. But again, he has thinning hair and all that. She said that, his health issues may be because of all this. We don't know. Why are we with this man? Why are we even typing this? Why are we typing the internet asking for advice? You have a man that has terrible hygiene. Why are we typing it? Why are we typing this out in the chat and we're not just gone? Hey, Miss Boogie Down, glad to have you here. Glad to receive the love. She probably looks good. And we would be surprised. Yes, she said he has thinning hair. She said he has thinning hair. Now, Miss L said it's bald. So, yes, men of a certain age do grow bald. Okay. But she did say he has thinning hair. I know y'all ain't, living together. I shunned her at the thought. But yeah, she said she wasn't really physically attracted to him, but the personal chemistry, started off later. What clicked the chemistry later? it's giving that something about him attracted her, and I don't know what it could be. I don't know what it could be. I don't want to say, I know she ain't gonna want to be with no broke brother, but I ain't calling her no gold digger, okay? Not too much in us bald beauties. No, bald beauty. Hey, certainly not. Mr. Elsid is bald, so hey, bald beauties have a place here, Phil, okay? He better have money. Thank you, K Sharp. He better be financing something. But what he ain't financing is a maid. And that's one thing she could definitely push him in that direction. Maybe you need someone to handle this. But here's my thing. What if, even if somebody's washing the clothes, he just re-wearing the old stuff because this is habit? I shunned at the thought. Yes, he dropped off on the peen. His stroke game probably fell off, and that's why she's having a problem with it. Because once you're dematized, going down that yellow brick road to the land of Oz, once he's getting you to the land of Oz, and how you spell Oz is with a big O. How him getting you to the land of Oz makes you forget all about the other things. Please tell me you're not looking at this man. I could not, y'all. I'm just seeing this woman. I cannot fathom her laying on those sheets knowing it's dirty. I can't fathom it. I cannot fathom it. Putting her face in those sheets, even if it's to give it up. I'm sorry, young lady. You need to leave him in his squalor and go about your business. It's only been a year. You're young. You're only 30. You're young. Leave him alone. If you want to, have him finance a maid to come through twice a week or whatever, however long it is, whatever. But I wouldn't be staying there at all. If she's so repulsed by him, why is she writing for advice? What does she want? Miss Iffy, thank you so much for being here. She said, this reminds me of high school behavior when girls will tell the guys they need to shower. Now, we know that how high school hormones be kicking up a little bit extra too, Miss Iffy. Them high school hormones be, the aroma be kicking. The guy hasn't learned from high school. And hey, he's 29. He's 29. So what would she rather? Would she rather that his mother came up in there and she's the one handling his laundry and cleaning his sheets? Would she rather interference by mama? Thank you, K-Shop. That's how I was delicately saying no face down in those sheets at all. None at all. Because my concern would be, I need to know what it is, because she's making it seem like it is, skin issues. I need to know because, is this contagious? If you sweating on me, is the sweat gonna carry something? No. Young lady, your gut told you on instinct that you were not attracted to this man. You should have listened. You weren't attracted to him. Just listen. Just say, you know what? Yeah, he's funny. He's cute, whatever. You should have listened. Did you see like the car keys? Did you see the car? Did you see he was pulling out some extra bills? What is it that switched over to tell you that to give this man a chance? Any man knows you need to have a shower before and after the smecks. Tell him to clean that house and put on clean clothes. Tell him to get some cream. Okay? Now, many of the ladies are going to be, Phil, he's 29. Why do I have to tell him all of this? He's 29. Why do I have to tell him how to conduct himself? Miss Iffy said the mother had enough of him, as I'm sure she's been telling him the same thing, and he doesn't listen. Thank you, Miss Iffy. Thank you for going down that road with me. So, y'all, what is your unsolicited advice for her? I'm like, girl, you knew this. Your body, your intuition told you not to give him a chance, and you still went there. I think you're having buyer's remorse, and you're thinking, daggone it, why did I give it up to that? Why did I give that access to me, thinking it was going to be a whole lot more, and it turned out to be just as bad as you thought? So, y'all, please put your unsolicited advice down there. Oh, K-Sharp said she must be a little unclean herself, but not at that level. Her unclean ain't going into skin irritations, probably. So please put your unsolicited advice below, and we will go to number 4, because it gets spicier and spicier here. And the spiciest of them all, someone in the chat gave it to me today, and I said, I got to squeeze this in today. Hey, Just Rhonda01, thank you for being here and in the bushes listening in. So, okay. This one is about a 21-year-old female, and the 22-year-old male with her is who's writing this. So it says, my girlfriend, a 21-year-old female, and I, a 22-year-old male, we cannot have intimacy because of potential medical reasons. I'm conflicted on what to do. Okay, here's the context. I'm a 22-year-old male. I have a fairly high drive, and my girlfriend has a very low drive. Maybe it's because of her meds. Okay, we've been together since November of last year, and we found out then that she cannot be intimate with me or anyone. I've been trying to encourage her to go to a doctor and see what the issue is. She keeps saying she will go, but never does. She has an excuse. It's going to cost money, which of course I understand, but we've been talking for months on end. I recognize there are other options to get to the promised land, okay? Neither of us is open to what? Entering the back door. However, her performance is less than ideal in these departments. Also, this is not just about me and my pleasure, okay? She is not enjoying our intimacy. For me, intimacy is a two-way street. I often don't find it enjoyable if my partner doesn't find it enjoyable. I love her dearly. I could see myself with her for an extended amount of time. If this issue is not addressed, I question whether this relationship is for me. I don't have any other issues with her besides this. However, this is a big issue. I recognize intimacy isn't what makes or breaks a relationship, but it's still an important factor. What advice would you give me on how to approach this? So he's saying, hey, I thought when I first read this that she had medical diagnosis as to why intimacy is an issue, but apparently it is an issue. She is not comfortable. It is not enjoyable. So he's saying, hey, go see a doctor. Go see a doctor. But she's like, it's going to cost, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Young lady, whether it's this young man or not, you need to take your health into your own hands. It may be, you may find someone you do want to be with, whether it's this guy who wrote this or not. You need to take your health into your own hands. You need to figure out what is it that's going on with your body. Seek medical attention. Again, y'all are like self-diagnosing. When I read this through like the third time, I'm like, y'all are self-diagnosing. And while it is the practice of medicine, those folks have gone to school and learned a whole lot. If it's a medical issue, it needs to be addressed. Right. He's saying it's potentially a medical issue, and it can't be addressed unless what? You get medical attention. I have to say I'm with him on this, okay? I'm with him on this, and far be it from the whole high drive and all this other stuff. But if you are trying to be intimate with your partner and you can't, and they're not enjoying it, and you're guessing it's a medical issue, it's like, how further can you get connected? Y'all are saying y'all trying all different ways to the promised land. It's not enjoyable. It's subpar. Y'all may need, an intimacy coach, intimacy counseling. Y'all may need that. And even if it's just for her. I hope he has considered that there's a huge possibility that she doesn't want to do anything with him. It may be time for him to find someone more compatible. Now, that's another thing. Maybe she just doesn't want to tell him, hey, I really don't want to be with you. Not on an intimate level. This is sounding like a continuation of the young lady before, ain't it? Ain't it sounding like a continuation of she no longer attracted to him, now she didn't want to do nothing with him? If it wasn't for the difference in the username and all that wrote this, I would have thought the young lady has moved over to I don't want you touching me. That's what it sounded like. So, but if it's a medical issue, you'll need to go get advice. But if she's not going to see anyone, as to go to Africa said, maybe she don't want you. Maybe she doesn't want you leading her to the promised land. She don't want you taking her to the land of Oz at all. Because guess what? If it's a medical issue, she's going to have to deal with this with someone else. If she hopes to have relationships, hopes to have a family, she will have to be intimate with another person. And if she doesn't want to deal with it now, it's going to catch up with her. If she does have health issues, she probably already knows her diagnosis and doesn't want to discuss it. Why are we with him then to go to Africa? If we have a medical diagnosis, we already know what the issue is. Why would we be with him? If we cannot discuss medical issues, and even if we don't want to be intimate with him, I would totally tell him my medical issue. We can't get it on. You need to sit, go park yourself over there. Here's my doctor's note. Now roll over and go to sleep. Roll over and go to sleep. Companionship? Well, then you need to find someone who's into that companionship. Because if he has they're both 20 something. He's 22, she's 21. He's in his rabbit phase, okay? He's in his rabbit phase of humping and thumping. So to tell him to go sit there and not be able to be with you in an intimate way that he wants to, you got to tell him your medical issues. Why in a relationship with anyone you cannot share that kind of detail? Bill Good said, open relationship. You mean the polyester, the poly of it all? Hey, Sahara from Ready to Love, Philly. I think he's at the point where he may drift off, Phil. You say open relationship. He may drift off. He sounded like he wants to work on things. He doesn't want to lose her, but he may drift to find what he needs physically. Unless she's, and truly has medical issues, he won't wait forever. He won't. I think she doesn't want to be with him and is using this as an excuse. They would have found other pathways to intimacy. It could be she ain't got that doctor's note. People call out sick and ain't got no doctor's note. I believe she's exploring her options by dating other people. There's no real medical issue because she can go to the doctor and get basic understanding of what's happening. So shApp said she ain't playing with her. Girl, you exploring option, you dating, you out here, slinging it back on other people, and you just don't want to give him some. We always end up at polyester. Yeah, polyester is a pretty a fabric that most people like to go with. Polyester is not as bad as we think. Phil, polyester is not bad. And over here, we can certainly have poly discussions, okay? Because the poly isn't bad if people know how to behave. There are rules and boundaries, and we're all in agreement. Then poly is fabulous. Fabulous. But I had a previous unsolicited advice where the guy came out of the poly into a monogamous relationship only to realize this ain't it for him. But he just wanted that girl, and she only wanted monogamy, and they ended up in a relationship that didn't last. Some people at her age may not have learned how to enjoy it and may just want a friend. Again, then you would need an intimacy counselor, intimacy coach, counselor in whatever manner. You may need to have that. If you don't find enjoyment, you may need to dig deeper in psychology. Yeah, Phil, we can certainly have when they start talking, seeking sister wife and seeking brother husbands again, we certainly could dive into a conversation on poly and different people who have the poly lifestyle. It is not one I wish to indulge in at all because I don't have the emotional fortitude, the emotional capacity for it. Because I just play wild, and I would have no consideration for other people's feeling. I'm sorry. I got to consider one person's feeling. I can't juggle more than one person's feelings in that romantic capacity. But that's just me. But we could have a poly discussion one of these days. So what is your unsolicited advice for her? Maybe she's simply not ready to give her body to him, but wants to be with him. That could be it, Miss Iffy. But why do we say it's a medical issue? if you're going to be with this person and you want to be with this person intimately, you got to be able to be honest with them. Like the young lady before, she got to tell that guy, hey, your skin is irritating me. Your skin is irritating me. Come on now. Oh, K Sharp says, I'm down for the poly discussion. Okay, we can have a poly discussion. Communication skills. Everybody needs to communicate. We could, I'll go back and pull up my Seeking Sister Wives and my Seeking Brother Husband and pull out those that are having a good relationship and what I think they're doing correctly. Because, there are people who thrive in these poly relationships, and they can. There's nothing, a relationship construct works as long as the people in the relationship work on it. Whether it's throuple, whether it's poly, whether it's whatever. If the people in the relationship work on it, they can build a wonderful relationship, whatever that construct is. But they all got to work on it, and they all got to stay within the parameters of the agreement in the relationship and talk. As Phil said, communicate. If this ain't working for you right now, if you really don't want this, you got to talk. And you may have those feelings, back and forth. But y'all, this young lady, we have various, things in this chat. We're thinking she may not want to be with him. It may not be a medical issue, or it may be that, hey, he just needs to go seek someone else, or, explore open relationship or poly relationship. So please put your unsolicited advice in the comments below. Make sure you have liked, you have shared, you have subscribed to the channel, because we are definitely growing. We're over 500 and growing. So let's get to number 5 in this, but the last one going to be a discussion. Okay. I prepared this file for y'all. So I said, we're going to do this. We're going to talk about this. So it says, I, a 27-year-old female, do not enjoy intimacy with my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male. Okay, we're a little bit older. I'm attracted to him, but not intimately anymore. I know he watches porn, okay? But he is very disrespectful to me during intimacy. Because when we finish intimacy, he always wants to, as you say, this is how I gotta say it for YouTube, y'all. He always wants to be disrespectful with his words and give me a facial. Okay? I have never once gone to the land of Oz in the 6 months we've been together, and it's been all about him with intimacy. The last week was the final straw, and I said to him, do you love me? And he straight up said no. And when I looked sad and told him to go home, he said he was only joking. But this made me feel really sad. I don't ever want to see or talk to him anymore. He has no respect for me, never talks to me or texts me except for when he's drinking. For me, the relationship was over months ago, and in my mind, I've been single for the past 4 months. I've been seeing other people, but when he sees me talking with someone else, he starts to interrupt, which has caused a bit of a trouble at a bar one time. I do love him in a strange way, but I feel so repressed when he is in my life. I don't want him out of it. I just want him out of it and not to bother me. Phil says, leave him. Leave him. Girl, we say around here, leave him. 6 months and you have not been to the land of Oz? You have not been to the promised land in 6 months. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how you ladies cope and manage. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. She already knows what it is. What exactly does she love about him? She already telling us the intimacy ain't where she needs it to be. He's being disrespectful even in that moment. Why would you even think about it? This is not a relationship at all run. Exactly. It's a situationship. It sounds like he just, uses her and leaves. That's what it sounds like. Phil says, leave him and a restraining order. I wouldn't put it that gently, Phil, because if you start off really slow, start collecting your information for the restraining order, young lady. You might need it. Why the heck did she stay with him after the second time if he didn't consider her satisfaction? Thank you to go to Africa. Why are we with him? If all he wants to do is give you a facial and you don't get to the land of Oz and he seems to get there by himself, why? Why are you with him? 6 months? 6 months of suffering? I'm sorry. My advice is leave him immediately. He will never value her as a person or as his woman. Reclaim your power. Hey, Mimi, glad to have you here. Reclaim your power, young lady, as shApp said. Reclaim it because he's not respecting you. Even in the most intimate of ways, he's not respecting you. He's treating you like a character on the corn that he watches. And you could be disposable just like he could switch the channel or switch the video and look at somebody else. You are just there to satisfy him. It's like you're a floor mat. I'm sorry. This ain't where you need to be. Maybe that facial has her skin looking amazing. Well, we don't know. See, just Rhonda01 and Phil are on the same thing. Hopefully her skin is clear. Yes, basically using her and wasting her time. And when you clearly ask him if he loves you, first of all, young lady, you got to ask this man if he loves you. If he doesn't say it of his own, don't ask. It sounds like you're begging. You should be able to tell based on his behavior. And even if you tell him, even if you play in and you say you love him, see if he gonna say it back. He clearly don't love you because he don't care if you make it to the promised land or not. That ain't love. I'm sorry. She showed him that he didn't need to put in the work and that she didn't feel that she deserved better to go to Africa. I'm wondering, this is sounding like, this is not necessarily what it is. It sounded like a one-night stand that just continued for 6 months. It sounds like she was always available when he needed. He only calls you when he's drunk. That's how y'all hooked up the first time when he was tipsy. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like he just parked for the course. And now that he is able to use you, you've allowed him to use you. He's like, why should I give up my shiny toy? I hate to say this, young lady, but that's how he seems to be behaving with you. Like you are a toy to him. You are his corn person come to life, and he just wants to be able to have access to you. Maybe need to go to different bars. See, you need to collect your information. As Phil said, you may need that restraining order. You may need that restraining order. If he becomes a problem, he's already a problem. He's already a problem behind closed doors. He's a problem out front where he saw you going out on a date and he interrupted. He's a problem. Sound like she gave the cookies on the first date, which was the first night they talked. Probably Ari. And he probably was very attentive and very nice and sweet. And she's like, hey, have a cookie. Girl, he blocking the real one that'll be there for you. Give up Mr. Pookie. He blocking her blessings. You're right, Beanie. He blocking her blessings. Corn person. Yes, girl. You know I got to say it like that. The young lady needs to play Mary J. Blige song just fine. Yes. I need you to play that in your headphones as loud as you can and just scream, sing it. Not just sing it. Scream, sing it. And dance in your apartment because your life will be just fine. Don't let nothing get in your way. Scream sing it. Now, the ladies and some of the gentlemen, you understand what I mean by scream sing a song. You just belting it out as loud as possible. You're off key. You're off tone. Everything. But guess what? You're going to feel better. Just spinning around, screaming out Mary. See, what is your unsolicited advice for her? We like, collect your information, collect your evidence for your restraining order because he turned out to be a problem. And don't go home with every stray that you meet at a bar. I'm sorry, young lady. Well, he could have been blocking the new guy that's a blessing, or he could have been blocking the next fool that you give access to you. But you may need to sit it out. He's not her biggest problem. She is. She needs therapy. Thank you to go to Africa. She needs to sit this one out and have some therapy. This is your prime time, so please don't waste your youth. Don't waste it on this gentleman at all, and don't let him waste your time. So y'all, please put your unsolicited advice there, and let me get this last one. Now, you know who you are in the chat. If you wish to disclose who you are the reason why we add in this 6th one. And this is going to be fire, y'all. This one is fire. You sent it to me. You can raise your hand. You can say it's me. But while I do listen to music, I was not at concerts this weekend, and something happened at the Coldplay concert. Do y'all know Coldplay? Do y'all know Coldplay? Well, apparently at the Coldplay concert, this was seen. Okay? At the Coldplay concert, there was a kiss cam. They have a song called Kiss Cam. You're not familiar, they're, more of a rock genre. Okay? Now, let me pull up my notes on this. This right there is a gentleman who is the CEO. Okay? CEO, and his HR chief at a concert. Okay? His name is Andy Byron, and allegedly he is with one of his employees, his HR director, Kristen Cabot. They were in Massachusetts, and they were panning the crowd for Kiss Cam. And when they pan the crowd for Kiss Cam, and the name of his company is Astronomer. Okay? They were so messy. So apparently they were just listening to the music and in this embrace. Used to love Coldplay. Well, Coldplay is messy. We like when they do messy, but apparently when the cameras went on the first picture on the left, they were swaying and the kiss cam came upon them in that embrace, okay? While they sway into the music. And when they realized the camera was on them, I'm going to have to take y'all comments off. You see him? It was a whole lot of ducking and dodging and diving. And a whole lot of blocking my face and trying to get out of the camera angle. And here's where Coldplay is messy. And we love Coldplay. What revenge is a dish best served cold? And Coldplay was putting it on. Apparently, other staff members were also in this box suite. And apparently, this young lady is not his wife. Okay? Apparently, he's supposed to be working late. Okay? He's supposed to be working late. And Coldplay said, why y'all hiding? Are y'all having an affair? I'm just paraphrasing. Are y'all not supposed to be all clingy together on a kiss cam? Why y'all hiding from the kiss cam? Y'all know what to do. Is this an affair? Did we catch an affair on camera? So y'all, let me pull up the rest of my notes, okay? Okay. So there was, as I said, there were other employees there. Just so y'all know, if y'all are going to Coldplay's concert, they will next perform in Madison, Wisconsin, Nashville, Tennessee, and Miami, Florida. So make sure y'all know when that song is playing before they leave to go to England, back to England, for 12 more shows. Just so you know, you might be caught on camera if you're with someone there that you're not supposed to be with. I'm just letting the people know, okay? I'm just letting y'all know in case y'all going in the concert. If you're going to concert with someone who is not your wife or not your husband, that you may be caught out there. So apparently his wife, I'm not going to say his wife's name, y'all can find it out there. His wife, last name on her social media, after this became viral. The wife changed the name on the social media. Yes, but oh, damn. Wife changed her name on social media, and then she took all of her social media down. Took all of her social media down. Well, that ain't on them. So I'm here to ask, this is unsolicited advice. We don't know how long he's been married to his wife, but we do know that his wife, allegedly, helped him start this company. She helped him start this $1 billion $1.2 billion AI database company. Yeah. So again, is this how a CEO and their HR director get along at a concert? Phil says he would tell the wife to go counseling and first determine if she wants to end this marriage. Phil, it would be a whole lot of heavy lifting for me to do that. And I am socially annihilated out here if I stay with you. Oh, it's going to take a lot, Phil, but I understand. And yes, to answer Miss Iffy, yes, she is also married. And her husband has taken down his social media. All right, the wife might want to watch the TP Family That Prays, Tyler Perry's Family That Prays, because she can take him to the cleaners. If they do not have, you don't need my advice. You don't need my help. You are a woman scorned without a prenup, and that is the recipe for good living. If y'all know the Family That Prays, I love that movie, and that was one of my favorite scenes from there, apart from William, it's your private thoughts that give me pause. Apart from that, there's several lines in that movie. Love it. I saw screenshots of his LinkedIn page and people had a lot of comments about this cheating situation. Yes, apparently it's known in the office that they have been lusting, thrusting, and allegedly using the employee break room. Okay, allegedly. So I want to cook grits on the stove and leave it at that. We can't tell nobody. Nobody tell you to leave. We can't tell her to leave. Our advice. Nobody has to take our advice out here, Phil. We are giving our unsolicited advice. The advice can be left on the floor, but we gonna give our advice right here on this channel. Now, the wife has the upper hand in this situation. Girl, if the wife has the upper hand, it's on the Megatron. The entire internet has the upper hand. And I'm sure a whole lot of divorce attorneys were reaching out to her too. Let's talk about the friend who was smiling so hard. It wasn't a friend. It was another colleague, another work colleague. I think she should consider if her marriage is worth saving. The wife should hold her head up because he is the cheater. Yes, he is the cheater. But again, if she stays, Phil, she'll be seen as accepting this cheating. Yep, Twitter is all about Twitter, LinkedIn, all the things, Phil. All the things. TikTok, it is everywhere. And Coldplay served it up cold. Yes, 1.2 billion, okay? In Benjamin's Mimi. Billion. So again, now he took over the role of CEO in 2023. So I don't know if they had someone else managing the firm for them, but again, this is how the CEO and the head of HR get down. This is how we go to a concert. And keep in mind, this company also now wants all of the staff to come into the office. No more work from home. And I wonder if you want the staff to come into the office and no more work from home so you can have more time with your HR director at the office. I wonder. Was the employee policy to come back to the office really for the business or for the business that you're handling at the office? The marriage is not worth saving. I say get his money and make him pay daily for the stunt pulled. We need to gather information to shApp. We need an investigator to go in and find out how long this has been going on. In my opinion, staying in your marriage after an affair doesn't make you weak. People make mistakes. If you want to stay, do the work. Totally acceptable, Phil. And I'm just saying this based on me. Based on me. Ain't gonna happen. If anybody wants to stay, that is certainly their prerogative. They could certainly work on their marriage, build their marriage, and be back on track. And people have done it. but it ain't me. I ain't for it. And especially such a public embarrassment. I couldn't get over that. You're going to have to pay. I'm going to get half for being your wife for X amount of years and having your kids. And I need punitive damages for the pain and emotional suffering out here in these streets. If I were the wife, I would tell him, let's go to therapy. Let the fool and tell the fool I forgive him. Prepare secretly myself. The kids and I hire a good lawyer within the next 3 years. If it's iffy, I could get down with that. We will be in therapy. I'm going to be performative so I can get what I need to collect and then go about my business. You're going to come home to an empty castle one day. They're both about to be in trouble. Lawsuits out the tail. They've been making business decisions based on personal feelings. Now, Nola, darling, do you think there's a no fraternization policy in the employee handbook? That is what I would like to know. If anybody has a peek in the employee handbook, I'd like to know. They were happy to play work, office, husband, and wife. I don't understand why people play these games in front of the other colleagues, in front of them in the suites, in the skybox. Even if they didn't know before, they clearly know now. Didn't sign up for being cheated on. Nope. I ain't staying, but respect those who do. Thank you, Miss Boogie Down. I'm with you. And that's how I heard it in my head. I ain't staying, but I'm going to respect y'all who do. That's for y'all. That ain't for me. Yep, likely, very likely. Right, I said I will stay to make him pay until my grudge goes away. And if you need me, and y'all, this is just me. This is not anybody else. This is just me. Maybe people in the chat. I would stay. Do the therapy, do the performative, but I'm going to need a lawyer to specify. If I need to stay with him to let this ease over so that the value of the stocks of this company doesn't tank, I need a performance fee. For every day I have to stay here, stand next to you in a press conference or otherwise, I need it spelled out. You know how Derek Jackson's wife sat with him in her bonnet or whatever? We ain't being caught out there. But if you need me to stand there with the press while you cry and ask for forgiveness, I need a performance fee, and I need it delineated. I need to stay here how long? 6 months? That's all you need? Then I need it delineated how much you need to pay me before I leave. Because the value of the stock of the company is also my value as well. So I'm going to do what's best for the company. But what we're not going to do is we ain't going to stay together. We're going to stay together for the lights and the cameras, but we ain't together. That grudge won't ever go away, even when I'm ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Well said, Ari. Will he stay with me? He probably won't. We don't know about a prenup. We don't know about that yet. Stay in what way? Definitely not in the same house. Well, depending on the size of the house, maybe I could be in the west wing and he could be in the east wing. We don't know about how many kids they have, but I could definitely keep up appearances for a fee. All those ladies that stand there next to their husband who done foolishness and whatever and have to stand next to them and look supportive, I hope they have gotten themselves a fee. I'm sorry. It'll be a life after life sentence. I'm one of those rare souls of, I'll probably curse you out of the house, but I am not going. I can't stay. I really can't stay, especially it's on the Megatron. It is all over the flipping internet. Yes, Phil is the voice of reason in the chat today. Phil is the voice of reason. You can go have counseling, save your marriage, save your relationship. But I ain't there. I ain't Phil. I ain't Phil at all. I'm okay. I'm gonna be like Kathy Bates in that Family of Praise. I'm gonna wait. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna have a stiff drink and state my demands. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? How are you cleaning this up? And wait a minute, I need to get my lawyer on the call for us to flesh this out, and then you go and sign this paperwork. And I'm going to stand there while you act a fool, and I will tear up and use my napkin and dry my eyes and look very lovingly at you at these press conferences, but we both are going to know what the deal is. And I'm going to need my money. Okay? And I'm going to need my money. This might be her way to make a clean exit. It could be. Could be. I'm not that enlightened either, girl. Yeah, Phyllis, our enlightened brother in the chat. And we need them. We need them to keep us in check. I wish Juanita Jordan would have had stayed with Michael. She was good, but she would be forever good. Wait a minute now. Now, shApp, I know about this. What are we talking about? What Juanita would have stayed with Michael? Are you what you trying to say? She left like Tina Turner. Did you not see their divorce settlement? Did you not see Juanita Jordan's divorce settlement? She left out there like Tina, meaning she took everything. The Aries and girl, Aries and me say, how much you pay me to stay and play in your face? Exactly, Mimi. The Aries and me said the same thing. Because you're going to suffer. Exactly. I'll give the performance for the kids. Right now, the kids are going through a lot. And I would get therapy for my kids, yes. And then I will get my revenge. Juanita still gets money from Michael, but he has made more money. shApp, I don't think you understand. Okay. Juanita left with the property. Juanita also negotiated his contracts. You know that, right? With Nike. Juanita owned a piece of him. So her piece has grown in stock value. She also was running his nonprofit, which she kept that. She kept her asset structure. So yes, he's making more money. He's paying her out as of then, but she still kept her stock option in Nike and Jordan. So Juanita is still, for me, a blueprint in how to divorce and divorce well. We may need to have a talk about the divorce structure of the Jordans, okay? Because I was in college at that time. Was I in college? I think I was. And I was like, daggone it, Juanita. Well played. Well played. Are we all Rams? If y'all wish to divulge what your zodiac sign is, I will say I am definitely a Ram. I know shApp just says she is too. Mimi said she is. So if you want to divulge if you're a Ram, but a whole lot of us here seems to be this seems to be a fire sign section. I would have stayed before the internet. I wouldn't have stayed before the internet. Now with the public exposure, I'm taking all that, and that B would have no job. Juanita Jordan is my shero. Girl, we don't know. We got to get tested. Juanita is on the board for the Chicago Bulls, and he was the player. Go figure. Yes. And we need to talk about Juanita. Right, he's branded out to NASCAR now. Yes, she is still good. Yes, she is. I'm curious if she's the type who will behave like Melania Trump, stay in the marriage, but not stay with him. We don't know. And who's to say, collect your fee, collect your finder's fee. Funny thing about this Coldplay frontman, Chris Martin actually cheated on his wife and his last girlfriend, yet he caused this nonsense. Miss Iffy, this is why he was able to call it out. He recognized the behavior. Okay? My favorite Cookie Gomez. Hey, Miss HLS, glad to have you here. We're talking about this. That's all over the internet at the Coldplay concert. The CEO and his HR director that were, hugged up at the concert. That is not his wife and that is not her husband. So we here give unsolicited advice from all the stories we see on the internet that I bring forward. So we're giving the wife some unsolicited advice and maybe even the husband of this HR director. And we're telling her if she got to stay, Phil, let's start off positive. Phil is saying stay. Hey, High Vibe, I'm telling you as well. Thanks for being here. Phil is saying stay, work on your marriage, and make a determination. Hey, Nola Brown, 000. Glad to have you here. We're giving unsolicited advice. Make sure y'all have liked the live and y'all are subscribed, okay? So we're giving the wife some unsolicited advice, okay? She already changed her last name on social media before she brought it down. Now, this lady's husband also, he could take the same advice. But we're telling the wife if she has to stay there and perform in front of the cameras because he got to do a press conference or something before the stocks tank in this company, that she needs to get herself a fee. If she's going to leave and she is forced to be there for any length of time to make it look good so that the stocks don't tank, we're telling her, make sure she has it delineated in her divorce decree or whatever, separation or whatever. I don't, where are they? There, I think it's Massachusetts. I forgot what Massachusetts divorce things are. I know they're a little bit different. If she's required to stay separated for a year, you better have everything delineated. I wouldn't mind DM the husband. Her husband? But this is not how. My thing is, you're fraternizing. Is there a fraternization policy? Okay. Yes, hey, Jackson, Tabasco, we do have company. I don't mean we behave. So just like they ain't behaving at the concert. My thing is there a fraternization policy? Is there no fraternization policy? If there is, they're both in trouble. Did we bring the staff back into the office because we want more office time? And the only way we could tell the wife and the husband, oh, we got to go into the office every day, is to make it a mandate. Now everybody got to suffer because y'all want to be hanky-panky in the office. Unfair. Unfair. Yes, get a big piece of that pie. $1.2 billion company, okay? $1.2 billion company. Get you out here in public in the sky suites at the concert with other colleagues. Who's to know if the wife ain't home taking care of their kids? The wife is probably home taking care of their kids. Or maybe she's on a business trip handling her business. Yet here you are. Yep, you're probably like, yeah, I ordered a suite. Let me take, some members of the staff, show staff appreciation. And here you are showing how much you appreciate at least one staff member. Okay? You appreciate her y'all real schmoozing and cuddled up. She'll be let go straight away with big payout. Well, she is the HR director, this lady in here. I don't know how big her payout gonna be. Or if it's the wife, that would be with a big payout. I don't know. And if she helped build that company, I hope she keeps her shares or whatever. But again, this is public embarrassment. I need, this is where you have a separate line for pain and suffering. Now that this is all over the internet, I've had to shut down my social media. All of this, the stress of it all, the stress of it all. Lady, I'm going to need you and your lawyer to get it together. Yeah, this lawyer is, isn't he serving time? Stormy Daniels' lawyer, what was his name? I almost said Amarati, but it's something close to that. Michael Avenatti. He was put in jail for trying to embezzle money out of Nike or something like that. Now he is a bloodhound type of lawyer. Lady, you're going to need something like that. The husband is home too. He must feel bad today. Yep. But you see everybody going after the CEO's wife. We didn't hear that her husband really took anything down. Bring the tears like a river. Well, shApp, we don't actually need tears. You need to sniffle real good, okay? Have a handkerchief and make sure you dab in your eye corners to make it seem like you don't want to mess up your makeup. But you need a good sniffle, okay? That's what, you could have the tears like a river, okay? You could cry me a river, but if you can't bring yourself to tear up, you got to have the sound effects, okay? Were they at a concert near their homes? It is a concert near their homes. It's in Massachusetts. Yes, it's in Massachusetts. Yes, the triangle Kleenex. Yes, the Kleenex, the napkin. Even if you don't have anything, and you could even for full effect, you could totally use the corner of your like you're keeping the tears at bay and ask someone to bring you a napkin. But you have to be real demure, real mindful, and real breathy about it. You got to bring your A game. With the right lawyer, she will get a payout, as he is the boss, and he abuses power. That's if the lady in his arms. That's if the lady in his arms. Okay, I doubt their spouses are surprised. They're probably surprised it's out in the open. I told you, if you're going out there entertaining these other people, don't bring embarrassment to the household. That's your only job. If their spouses are not surprised, they're probably like, keep it discreet. But yes, the HR director can, yell foul and say, well, I thought I had to do this to keep my job. He don't know the position he put himself in and the company. Because she could clearly say that. Because she, yes, they look very hugged up or whatever, but we see them here. He's hugging up on her. She could very well say, well, I didn't think I could, refuse his advances. I mean, come on down. There's a possibility she could skate away, but you can't just terminate her because it could be seen as retaliation. You gotta tread very carefully in trying to fire her, since he is the CEO in a position of power. Now, firing him for indiscretion or whatever, yeah, he could get fired. But again, firing her, you got to tread lightly. I used to be an HR manager back in the day. You got to tread very lightly with that one. As a wife, I would have a press conference, have a whole press tour. Girl, you go on tour with Coldplay? You go on tour with Coldplay? They got 12 European stops. Go on a tour with Coldplay and say, call it your freedom tour. We don't know. I mean, I just feel for the wife if she does not know. Okay? If she does not know, I feel for the wife if this is how she found out. If this is how she found out, I cannot imagine if she is out on a business trip and a business dinner somewhere behaving herself. If she's behaving herself, we are making that assumption. And then you see it blasted on the internet. Not only that, you out on a business trip and it blasted, and people at your dinner table, whatever, or a colleague come knock your hotel room and say, girl, your husband all over this internet. I wonder what the emails and team messages look like. shApp, we got to have a IT investigation on here. What are you using company policy time? Because we talk about in other unsolicited advice about people using, company equipment and watching corn. Now we doing company equipment to cheat on wife. And what if the company paid for these concert tickets? I ain't seen nobody in the chat say that yet. What if the company paid for this suite? So then the company is financing your affair. Company reads the team's messages. I hope they aren't saying anything. Girl, I'm in HR. If they are smart, there should be a moral clause when dating coworkers in the company. It could be that large of a company, but we don't know. Hey, Baba lady, I had a relationship to talk about earlier. I was calling your name to ladies and it got very disrespectful. Okay. If you want to replay later and give your advice in the comments, I would really appreciate it. I would embarrass him to no end. Team for my job, delete after 30 days. Now, it deletes from your computer, Ari, doesn't mean it deletes all the way. Just as a FYI, it may delete from the space there, but it may be recorded in the cloud for the company. And they may do an AI thing to look at certain words, like how YouTube looks for certain words. But I understand, Ari. Yeah, some things delete after 30 days on your end. But that doesn't mean that IT deletes it. So, y'all, I find it quite interesting. I need to know who paid for these tickets. Did the company pay for the Sky Suite? Was this part of an employee morale? And you brought certain team members because it was a reward-based system to go to the Coldplay concert and stay in the suite. And who's the cameraman or the producer that had their eye on that suite to say, when the kiss cam came, we need to focus in on that suite? Because look at them. They're real schmoozy. They look like a cute little, more mature couple. Let's get them on kiss cam. I want to know it well if this was a company trip. Exactly, shApp. And I want to know if this was a reward system, I want to know how it was chosen, who went into the Sky Suite for the concert. How was that chosen? Because now the rest of the employees need to know. Because if it's like, oh, well, is it top management and top sales? Is it top management and top this? If you weren't chosen and you clearly had top sales numbers or figures or whatever, customer satisfaction numbers, Mm-mm-mm. Now, why be so sloppy and get a suite? Well, because they didn't want to be, mixing with us mere mortals. Who are their accomplices? Well, there were other members. People have identified other members of the executive team there. If you watch the video, there's another young lady in the Sky Suites, and she's like, "Oh my God." She's also someone who works with them. So you have other members of the team clearly there, and you are clearly schmoozing with your HR director, clearly in a violation in front of other colleagues. So now when we have to go to work tomorrow morning, Monday morning, everybody done known that y'all been to the Coldplay concert and was put out there. What is that staff meeting going to look like? Is there going to be a staff meeting? Is the rest of the staff getting their own lawyers and creating like a lawsuit but coming back into work? What is that executive conference call Teams meeting going to look like? The employees got a private group chat. Yep, they may have a WhatsApp group chat talking about it. Hey, did you see CEO and HR? They always go for that 1 hour coffee around 2 o'clock. Y'all notice that? Trying to get on his calendar. No, family that prays. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to the family that prays. Oh, he has a standing appointment with the director of HR at 3 o'clock every day. Y'all remember? He has a standing appointment, the same room at that. I had it and I just lost it. The hotel, the same suite number that his daddy used to take his liaisons. Sound like the family that prays. And my revenge would be no bounds. Yes, high vibe. This is international embarrassment. International embarrassment. But we focus on the wife. Her husband too has grounds for that. Every Tuesday it was, right, Miss Boogie Down? He has a standing appointment. I keep hearing the wife say the hotel in my head, but I keep losing it. The same sweet da 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 da. Yeah, I keep hearing it, the line in the movie, but I can't bring it forth. But yeah, her husband too has grounds. Or her husband, if I was her husband, I'd stay. I'd stay and see if she is terminated. See if she wins a suit on wrongful termination. I'm going to sit on that goose egg and see if it hatch. See if it's a golden egg. If I was her husband, I wouldn't lash out. I'd sit and wait and watch for her husband. When Sarah characters walked in the room, the wife was sitting on the bed, Stella. No, it was the other way around. Sanaa Lathan was sitting on the bed and she's like, honey, did you have a long day? And she was talking and the wife walked in the room. And she said, this is why you're limited. She called her by her name and she's like, Miss, yes, that's right, Mrs. Cartwright. See, that's why you're here and your relationship is limited to these 4 walls. Okay? Don't be talking to my husband. Oh, that was another good thing. Another good event that took place when she walked in on Sanaa. CEO satisfaction trumps customer service satisfaction. Hey, that may be in the company policy. The CEO needs to be satisfied over customer satisfaction. Y'all get me back to the family that prays, because that line in the diner, my son is a Cartwright. We felt for her husband when she threw that money and said, here's some more. Buy some boxes and get your stuff out of my house. Woo! That was another great scene. Y'all gonna get me into the family that prays. We could just have a moment just talking about the family that prays. Now, y'all, I do not watch any more Tyler Perry movies at all. I'm tired of him. I know some of y'all are not. I don't watch, but Family That Prays is definitely one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites of his. Because too, I love Kathy Bates. And I love Kathy Bates from back in the day because I'm a total Stephen King reader. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books each year. And Kathy Bates in Misery, when I read Stephen King before that, but when I saw her in I was like, yes, I love this woman. Love this woman. And I followed her from all the way from there. Need to watch it again. We could do a review discussion. Okay. Y'all adding things to my list. AK's POV. We already added King's Court. So we're going to add a movie night, a movie review and discussion. We're going to add a movie night. We could sprinkle in a movie night. Okay. Are we going to sprinkle in a movie night? Are we going to sprinkle in a Kathy Bates night? I'm going to put out. I could do that. What I'll probably do is put out 2 movies. We just talked about Misery and we just talked about Family That Prays. I'll put out 2 movies and then probably give everybody 2 weeks in order to watch the movies. And when we talk about it, I did a recap and review of one of my other favorite movies, Boomerang. Okay. I did a recap of Boomerang where I say that Angela is actually the villain. That Tyra oh gosh, Jesus. Halle Berry's character is actually the villain of Boomerang. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can say Marcus or whatever, but we could have an all-out talk about how she is the villain. You like Misery? Okay. Was able to find King's Court. I'll catch up. Only seen 1 episode. It's only 1 episode that came out. AK's POV. Only 1 episode. Y'all love Boomerang? Okay. I know on Patreon you can do live drops so people can watch videos live. I'm not entirely sure it works, but Miss Misha does it there. I know, I've seen that. I'm waiting to see if Patreon changes their rules since YouTube is enforcing their rules about that. So I'm waiting to see, because not only that, you could do it on Twitch too. But I don't want to force y'all to go someplace else unless I know for sure it could be sustained. Yep. You could go watch it. Marcus, darling. I agree. Angela was a girl. Was she a villain? He went out with his boy. You knew your girl was dating Marcus and you decided to dive in there too. Oh, I got lots of points in my recap about how she's the villain. Halle Berry's character is the villain. But anyway, y'all, we have gone around the gamut, so we're gonna do a movie night. I'm gonna design something. We're gonna do a movie night. We're gonna talk about, since we started with Kathy Bates, I'm probably gonna do Misery and Family That Prays. We're gonna rewatch those and maybe we could talk about that. But certainly, y'all, I have my IG there. Make sure you follow me on IG. Okay, make sure you follow me. You could give me suggestions for movies there. I'm a total movie buff because my grandfather used to be, when people used to have someone in the neighborhood that used to have all the Betamax or the VHS movies, and people used to come and borrow and bring them back. That was my granddaddy. So everything from horror movies from Vincent Price days all the way to now. I saw we could have a discussion about The Fly with Vincent Price and the more modern Fly. I know some people didn't know Vincent Price did The Fly, but yeah, we could do a whole bunch. Yes, Angela was no angel. Everybody ignored David Alan Grier's character. Everybody ignored him. But y'all, this is Unsolicited Advice. I'm glad y'all were certainly here. I'm glad y'all joined me today. Usually we go about an hour, but this last one with the CEO being caught with his HR director deserved our attention. And now y'all have added movie night. So I guess I will come up with something and y'all could send it to me in my IG, send it to me in the DMs, okay? Now, there's someone in the audience here that is a huge movie fan. Thank you so much. I said what I said. Certainly, please catch the replay. We could definitely do horror movie for Halloween, or we could just have a discussion about Jason versus Freddy versus Michael Myers. So again, we could definitely do that around Halloween, K-Sharp. It's coming up. It ain't that far away, okay? But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Please make sure your notification bell is on, that you are a subscriber, and that you are, liking this live. We will be here tomorrow for Unscripted, where we talk about any and everything you want to talk about, including the CEO, if we learn more about it. And I'm going to talk to y'all about my natural hair journey. Somebody asked me for that. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, okay? We're going to talk about it definitely tomorrow. And there's some other suggestion. There's a post. Please put in the post where you want us to start our discussion, and we will talk about music. And I think I'll pick the year in music after this. But yes, enjoy always spending time here with y'all, okay? And I will see you on the next one.